What's going on YouTube? I'm your host Joss. Welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. Make sure you're following the BTS team on social media. Our links are down below. And click that subscribe button and notification bell so that you never miss another video. Let's talk about movie mistakes. No one's perfect, right? Everyone makes mistakes, even in a huge company like Disney. No matter how many artists or writers work on a Disney animation, mistakes and errors are bound to end up in the final cut. Let's check out some examples with today's list of top 10 worst Disney movie mistakes you will not believe you missed. Starting off the list, number 10 comes from Toy Story. One of the things we have come to love about the toys in the movie was how clever they were. They all had their own personalities and quirks, but one thing they were all good at was forming these ridiculous strategies to solve their problems. At the beginning of the movie, we see Sarge and his army men scouting out Andy's birthday party. They want to see the new toys that Andy gets for his birthday so they can warn all the other toys who is joining the collection. In order to communicate from different rooms, the army men are seen carrying a baby monitor with them. But there was one major mix-up that you probably didn't catch on to. The baby monitor that the army squad is using is the handheld half, which only acts as a speaker. It doesn't actually have a microphone on it, which means that the other toys wouldn't actually be able to hear what they were saying. The one with the microphone is on Andy's bedside table with the other toys. So really their plan would have been a big fail, but Disney just went along with it. Our next mistake in spot number 9 is from Finding Nemo. Now this one is a little too technical for me personally to notice. What I'm saying is I'm basically too dumb to even know that this was a thing. So if you caught this one, good on you. Pixar made a bit of a mistake when it came to the laws of physics. It's the scene when Nemo's fish tank friends make their escape into the Sydney harbor. We see that they are all floating in little plastic bags of water, which might have seemed like a really good idea at first, but it isn't once you realize that bags of salt water wouldn't float above the ocean's surface in those perfect spheres. According to the physics side of it, they would normally sink to match the same level of the ocean's body of water. To me, I would have never noticed, and to be honest, I don't really care. I totally get the idea that they had in mind, and it's a Disney movie. Nothing in Disney is realistic. Sliding into number 8 is Monsters Inc. Fans have pointed out a variety of continuum issues with the movie, but one movie mistake that is a bit more obvious is Boo's laugh. Mike and Sully spend most of their time trying to keep up with the little girl, and they soon realize that her laugh is more powerful than their own monster screams. It's so strong that it could actually cause a massive power outage. However, their inconsistency stands out because Boo spends most of her time in the movie giggling and laughing away, so why don't all of her laughs have the same effect? It really doesn't make any sense. The filmmakers have commented on this inconsistency and explained that it would cause too many challenges if they followed that rule from beginning to end, so they were kind of forced to just ignore it. But passionate Disney fans will never ignore a mistake, they will always find it. Up next, number 7 comes from the movie Frozen. I love this movie so much that I'm pretty much in denial about it having mistakes, but the reality is that it does. An obvious mistake involves a missing prop. Props are an important part of movies, even in animated films. You can notice a prop disappear in the scene when Hans tells Elsa that her sister has been killed by her cold magic. While the two of them are out on the ice, it's clear that he doesn't have any weapons on him. But just a moment later, you can hear the sounds of a sword being drawn. And then just like that, a massive sword magically appears as if there was one there with him the whole time. On top of that, he isn't wearing a sheath that would have made the sound of a sword being drawn. So either Hans has some magical powers too, or this was a really bad editing mistake. And at number 6 is from the classic Disney movie Cinderella. One of the most important moments of a Disney princess movie is the ending of a love story. Luckily for Cinderella, she gets her Prince Charming in the end and rides off in a carriage with him after becoming his wife. In reality, a wedding day is wildly special and well planned out. But the editors didn't plan out their side of the wedding scenes because Cinderella has a wardrobe malfunction in the final edit. In the scene where Cinderella and the prince are riding off in their carriage, her wedding dress is long sleeved as she waves out the window. But then in the next shot we see them share a kiss and her dress is sleeveless. There's no way she did costume change that quickly. Apparently there were 2 different animators working on it at the time and they are the ones to blame. There is even a slight difference in the color of the carriage's drapes too throughout the whole scene. Halfway through the list at number 5 comes from the movie Tangled, another mistake that was found at the emotional climax of the movie. Disney lovers were left in shock at the end of the movie when Eugene made the ultimate sacrifice, cutting off Rapunzel's magical hair to keep her from saving his life. It was pretty intense, and maybe that's why no one noticed a pretty obvious mistake. Even the animators seem to be distracted because in the scene you can clearly see that he has a metal shackle chained to his right wrist. But then in the next angle, when he raises his hand to touch her face one last time, the shackle is magically missing from his wrist. Not a massive mistake that will destroy the movie, just something that's so silly it shouldn't have even happened. And for the people who did spot the mess up, it just takes away from that big dramatic ending. Here we are number 4 with one from Toy Story 2. If fans found a mistake mistake in the first movie, you know they are going to find one in the sequel. This one is only silly because from an editing point of view, it's kind of common sense. Maybe my editors can back me up on this? I don't know. In the hilarious scene where Rex and Ham are playing with the television remote, flipping through the channels, you might have missed a slip up when the TV was finally turned off. They are finally able to turn it off after some chaotic attempts, but when they do, the reflection on the TV doesn't show the two of them sitting in front of it. The reflection of the room is on the TV, but not them. So either the animators forgot to put the toys' reflections on the screen, or Hex and Ham are actually the ghosts of dead toys. Alright guys, and number 3 comes from Zootopia, or as some people know it as Zootropolis. The 2016 movie was originally named Zootopia, but then Disney changed its name to Zootropolis for the UK release. I'm not really sure why. But whatever title you want to go by, the mistake still remains the same in both. The mess up happens in the scene when Judy answers the phone with her parents on the other end. When she answers the FaceTime call, we can see that the time says 8:40 p.m. Moments later, we see the time on the phone says 9:44 p.m., but their conversation only lasted a few minutes. So we're not really sure what happened there. Maybe they meant to put 8:44 and the conversation lasted 4 minutes? I don't know. At number 2, we have a mistake from another classic Disney movie, The Lion King. I'm just gonna come out and say it, you guys, this mistake is a bad one. Like, this one is just rough. It's so ridiculous that no one caught on to it at some point in their time through the editing process. It's a scene when Timon spins around and he is wearing a flower on his head and a purple boa. We expect nothing less from the crazy guy, but it's amazing how he's not wearing either of the two costume pieces at the start of the shot. When he's facing away from the camera, he doesn't have them on. But then when he turns around, bam! There they are. It's easier to forgive continuity issues when it's different shots, but all in one shot? Not so forgiving. Taking the number 1 spot is Pocahontas. This one small mistake has been noticed by many people who have no problem admitting how much it makes their head hurt. Now, when it comes to the use of shadows in animated and CG movies, things can be tricky. They have to bend, overlap, move, and distort, which can be a challenge for the animators. However, there is no way this should have made it into the movie. When Pocahontas and Nakoma are walking and holding hands, their shadows in front of them should be doing the same mirroring image, but it's not. For some reason, their shadows aren't holding hands. Their shadows actually don't look the same at all. Like, it looks like different bodies. I'm kinda confused. Alright guys, because I am such a fan of Disney, I think I can look past these mistakes. We all make mistakes, but let me know down in the comments which one surprised you the most, and tell me if you caught on to any of them before hearing this list. For now, let's do some comment shoutouts. Samantha Stoozle says, you should do a top 10 times Family Guy predicted the future. That is a great idea. I always see memes floating around social media showing the predictions. David's World says, I predict Jocelyn will like this comment, but you missed the part where I shouted out, so your predictions are kind of faulty. Natsuki says, or maybe we copied them. Plot twist. Maybe the entire world is basing life choices on the Simpsons episodes. The original Belfry Bat says, Joss, you're awesome. Much love to the entire top 10 team. Much love from all of us to you. One big imaginary group hug. Alright, I'm out of here. I got nothing left for you guys. You can stay on this screen to keep watching more videos. Just click the icon that pops up right over here as soon as I stop talking. I'm your host, Joss, and I will see you next time.